Diamond, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
After everything that's taken place the last few months, how exciting is it to not only get on the court and play a basketball game, but to walk off the court with a win?
It's very exciting. After all the hard work we put in over the days that we had with Corona going on, like just fighting through everything, pushing through, just to walk off with a dub, it makes me happy to know that we worked really hard. We focused on everything that we had needed to do for the game, and it paid off.
Diamond, tell me about what changed there in that second quarter there after the slow start. You really turned up the intensity defensively and the offense came together.
Defense is just, we need to turn up our energy. We need to calm down. We had a couple jitters, it's the first game, so everybody's a little, riled up, but just calm down, focus on our game plan, play defense, pressure the ball, made them feel uncomfortable, and that's what got us going.
Good night. It's a great win tonight. How is it for you to open the season with a career high of points?
It feels good, but it's basically, gaining respect. Most people are not going to guard me from last year. I was a passer, but, just stepping up, hitting shots because our posts are going to get doubled. Brittany and Moss are great post players. They're going to finish on the basket. So most teams are going to double them. So just, creating the outside shots, so we can start passing it in. So you just basically having an all around game as a team, hitting shots outside so we can get it inside. So having a career high really sets the tone.
Diamond, I got to ask you about that no-look pass to Brittany in the fourth quarter. That was amazing. Did you see her? I mean, how did you do that?
I mean, yes, I did see her. I don't know. I just, at that point when the game was flowing, and just let everything come to me. It was, I don't know. I don't know how I did it. It just happened.
Diamond, of course, you got a couple of new teammates there, Asia Todd and, of course, Lewis. And you and Lewis in particular had some chemistry there in the backcourt, allowed you to play off the ball. Just talk about the impact those two will have and the chemistry you and Alyssa in particular had in this game.
They're great, some great players. Lewis, she's a great point guard. Our chemistry, I guess I would say from us both being point guards, we know how to play with each other. I know how she likes to maneuver on the court. She know how I like to maneuver. So playing off the ball, it really helps out a lot, to hit more shots. She can hit shots, she can make passes, she can run a play. She's a very calm point guard. She's very poised. She makes everything run. So it's very great having her as, a backup point guard or, coming off the bench. She's a very good spark. So it's great having them too.
Diamond, did you see anything on the court tonight that surprised you out of your team or your opponent?
I would say my team, well, nothing surprised me, but I was just very happy that, we played together, we played hard, we had a lot of energy. We basically followed the game plan and, we got what we need to get. We got a dub. So I'm overly happy for that.
Diamond, talk about what you've worked on your game leading up to this season. You knew, obviously, with KK graduating that you were going to have a bigger role. Just talk about the role you had, because you were really dynamic, not on both sides of the ball like you always were, but off the ball, with the ball. I mean, you kind of have a lot of versatility. Just talk about your overall game, what you've worked on to step up in this season.
I worked on catching and shooting. Just catching and shooting and catching and shooting, because I tend to like to pass. So have to, step up in a new role and catch and shoot if I'm open. So that's what I've really been working on, just catching and shoot. If it's not there, then of course, being versatile, knowing how to pass, pull up jumper, looking for open people, but just very, set in stone on catching and shooting.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Courtajia. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. You should be good. You should have a smile on your face, and I can see that you do.
Win. Our first win of the season. I feel good.
Yeah, this is Steve Wilson. I want to congratulate you. And I want to ask you the same question that I asked Diamond. How does it feel after everything that's taken place to not only play the game tonight, but to win the game?
It feels great because we put in a lot of work. We play together. The coaches prepares for these games, so like we we make some sacrifices. Like we beat each other up in practice, and we came out and we did that to the other team, and we got to win.
Talk about that defense. I mean, the intensity was incredible from you. You were deflecting balls. You also getting some layups as a result of some of those turnovers. That talk about the defense and that really dominant performance.
Well, defense is a thing for me. It's really fun. Actually, most people don't like defense, but defense is fun to me. I like to pressure the ball. I don't want anyone going past me. I don't want anyone passing the ball over me. And I feel like I just got to set a tone for my teammates behind me. And that's just something that we do. Defense is our style. That's what we do. We play defense.
Courtajia, you all only scored 5 points in the first quarter. What did you do to turn it around? You scored 55 the last 3 quarters.
Well, I think our defense led us to those transition layups. So when we turned up our defense, we got some steals and some tips and some layups. So that's how I turned that around by playing more aggressive on defense.
Talk about Alyssa and Asia, what they're going to bring to your team there. Alyssa Lewis really brought a spark, I thought, offensively in that second quarter. What are those two are going to bring to this team?
Yeah, they both bring sparks to the team. They both are shooters, 3-point shooters, mid-range shooters. Alicia is a great passer. She has great eyes. She will see you. And that's something that they'll bring to the team right there.
Yeah, I thought it was a good win for you all tonight. What would you like to see yourself and your team do maybe a little bit better next game?
Less turnovers. Less turnovers is a big thing for us. And for me, myself, just knocking out those open shots, pull-ups, and that's something that I'm working on right now.
Well, Coach, congratulations on that win there. I know slow start, but boy, your defense turned it up a different level. They're dominant, and your offense picked up from there after that first quarter. Just talk about this team there and really playing with poise after the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's the first game. I think everybody, both teams, I think had a lot of jitters. They came at us really hard, in which we knew they would, especially number one on their team is Carol Miller. She was phenomenal starting the game for them, and their 2 post players are playing really hard. But I knew that they were a little low in the post, so I really wanted to go at them and get them in foul trouble a little bit, and we did that. We accomplished that, and then after that first quarter where we calmed down a little bit, I kind of got a better feel, and my coaches got a better feel for what their tendencies were, like who was going to shoot the 3, who was going to drive really hard. And last year, number one played the 4 a lot for them. So now she was on the perimeter driving and, being really aggressive. So I kind of changed up our footwork on her when they were closing out and just said, back off, like don't guard her at the 3-point line, just because don't give her some space because she wants to get in that paint and drive really hard. And, they did a good job of adjusting, and especially some of the new kids, so I'm very proud of them defensively, just being smart. I was happy that Moss and Brittany didn't get in foul trouble. That was one of our keys, that we got to make sure that they are not getting in foul trouble. So that really helped us too, so we could rotate all of the posts, especially in the second quarter.
Coach, this is Steve. Congratulations on the win.
Hi, Steve. Are you really at the beach, or is that just your picture?
That is my picture, and no, I'm sitting in section 108, I think.
Oh.
But congratulations. What did you see on the court tonight that you liked?
That our guards stepped up. I mean, I think that was big because we knew that they were going to double Brittany and Moss. I mean, I think that's what everybody's going to do. And hopefully we can keep stepping up like this as the guards to hit some open shots. I kept telling the guards they wanted to drive in the paint in the first quarter. They were trying to drive, and they were just collapsing on everything on us. So I told them they have to catch and shoot. Just do it. Just catch and shoot. You guys have been working on your catch and shoots a long time. They're strong side digging. You're not going to get in the paint. And, they like to get in the paint. Diamond likes to get in the paint. Tate likes to get in the paint to draw fouls. And they did a good job of stepping up and, hitting shots. So if we can continue to shoot like that, it's going to be really hard to double Moss and Brittany, and they were actually doubling Destiny too. So that's a compliment to our post players, really, that people double them. I'm sure they were a little frustrated because they wanted to score more, but I thought our guards did a good job of stepping up and hitting shots.
Hello, Coach. Great win tonight. So, after the news of the men's basketball game being postponed, how does it feel for you not only to win the game but to actually play the game tonight?
Yeah, I didn't know their game got postponed, but I mean, I thought because we're home, we're very fortunate that we're in a safe environment because we're not flying, we're not traveling, we're not at a hotel, we're not doing all those things. So, I'm just happy we got at least the first one under our belts. Now we got to be really careful. I mean, I really told our team to be very careful, because we need everybody, and we need everybody to stay safe, because if we have good numbers like this, we'll be super successful.
Coach, of course, Alyssa Lewis and Asia Todd, we find out they're eligible to play, and they made an immediate impact. And Alyssa in particular, really, I thought brought the spark to your offense in that second quarter, reminded me a little bit of another 23 you had in Zy Lewis. And she and Diamond really had great chemistry. You were able to play Diamond off the ball. Just talk about those two, what they will bring to the table and the impact they had, because I thought they were tremendous in their contributions and looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think Lish was a surprise to the other team because, we didn't know that they were going to get cleared, and luckily they got cleared. And so I think that with Diamond and Lish, I think it was great that Diamond had to play, all those years with KK, and she's okay with that. And so with somebody as an upperclassman in Diamond, that a newcomer comes into the game and the newcomer is wondering how Diamond's going to feel about, her playing the point. Diamond's been like 100% supportive, 100% pumping Lish up, because Diamond knows that takes pressure off her to have to, call all the plays, handle the balls, do the shot clock plays. It actually gives Diamond more opportunities to shoot the ball, as you saw. So I think those two are always going to be able to play off each other like that. I mean, and I think it's a blessing that, Diamond got to play with KK for so long.
Coach, you were down after one quarter. What happened? Did they just couldn't buy a basket? Were they nervous, or what did you tell them? If you can tell us.
Both. They couldn't buy a basket and they were nervous. They were so, geeked up for their first game and so excited to play against somebody else beside themselves. I mean, we really missed a lot of layups and we turned the ball over. We were trying to go too fast. We were trying to get quick shots, and so I just told them to settle down. I mean, the score was 1-13. It seemed like forever. And so I just told them offensively to get movement. If it goes into the low block, you got to move because they're going to double. I was trying to get high lows. And so we were just trying to make sure we didn't set any more on-ball screens, because that was really frustrating our guards, because they were trying to hedge really hard and trap, and we couldn't get by them. So we stopped setting on-ball screens. But I think defensively, like I said before, that really helped us because we figured out the tendencies of their other players. Number one, used to play in the post. I didn't know if she's going to play in the post this game or not, and she played a guard. So we really, just adjusted defensively how we guarded her, because she's their leading scorer coming back. And so, I mean, that we did a good job on her. She only scored 7 points. I think it was 7. I can't see 7 or 6 points. And so the first quarter they scored 13. The second quarter they only scored 10, but we scored 28, and that was because we got tips. Defensively, we're doing the right thing. We were catching and shooting instead of trying to drive in the paint. And so, I mean, we just made some adjustments a little bit with defensively and offensively.
Can you walk us through the atmosphere right after the game, like what you said to the team and kind of your mindset going forward?
You mean in the locker room after the game? I was just so proud of them because, this really had been a hard time for everybody, not just us, but them too, and anybody that's playing right now, because we haven't had the amount of time to prepare for any game, let alone any other team. So I think it goes to our leadership in Moss and Brittany and Diamond and Tay, and in terms of getting everybody ready, and then in terms of my coaches preparing everybody in practice and, trying to play catch up. I mean, we've been trying to play catch up. I think also because we play the matchup and it's really hard to simulate and practice the other team. I think that really helps us, because everybody practice. I mean, we practice man all the time, man offense, man offense, man offense. We barely practice a lot of zone offense. And so they had to prepare for us too. So I'm sure they were practicing man, man, man. And then, maybe a week before or something, they had to practice their zone offense, but it's really hard to simulate our zone offense with hardly any scout guys. It's been a weird time. So I think that it just benefited us, our defense, not playing man.
Do you feel like, in a way, maybe that your defense is kind of ahead? I know it's just one game, but you forced 31 turnovers. You scored 28 points off of them. I remember a year ago with last season's team, you were frustrated with your defensive intensity. There seemed that right there from the tip, you had the intensity. There was communication. I know it's one game, but do you feel like your defense is even ahead of where you thought they would be, considering you're kind of playing catch up with everything going on?
Yeah, well, I think Diamond and Tay and Britt and Moss are, yes, and Destiny, and then here comes all the new people. So if we have those four starting for us, and now the starting lineups could change a little bit, but I guarantee for this whole year, those four are going to be, the ones that are starting and playing. And so when I subbed, I really didn't sub too many of those out. I would sub one player and a new person would come in. I kept, when I subbed Lish in, I kept Tay and Diamond in. If I subbed Anna in, I kept Tay and Diamond in. And I think there was only one point that I had really two new people at the guard spot in at one time, but the posts are very seasoned. So, I mean, Janae knows how to play, Destiny knows how to play, Moss knows how to play it. And Brittany knows how to play it. So it's just the new guards coming in that I'm rotating a little different, and they're going to get better. They're going to get way better. Right. But we're fortunate enough, and knock on wood, that everybody stays healthy. We're going to have those four pretty much starting the whole time.
After coaching the game tonight and watching the action from the sidelines, is there anything in particular that you will focus on in practice next?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. The turnovers, I mean, Tay was right. Our turnovers, that's a little too many, 18. But I also think that that's like everybody getting nervous. They got 13 offensive rebounds, so boxing out is going to be something. And we knew we were going to struggle with that because we did 2 inter-squad scrimmages and we didn't box out very well, right? So they got a lot of offensive rebounds. But, I think defensively, teams that are going to maybe set a lot of screens on us defensively, that we got to really work on that. But I think most importantly, it's really our box outs. And because Tay's so long and so tall, like she gets a lot of tips and she loves defense. And so she's a nightmare. So hopefully they'll start running their offense on the other side of the floor. And then I'll just put Moss on that side and Tay on one side. And then, Tay's just a nightmare defensively. I mean, I know my coaches hate her guarding them in practice too. So that's a compliment if you're, going against Nikisha Sales, and Nikisha always tries to move the other side of the floor so she's away from Tay. But offensively, we got to just keep working. I worry about zone defenses, so we got to get better at that. But I think just rotating everybody else in and getting everybody else better at our matchup.